So this story is of the utmost importance for 2020, and honestly, it's been overlooked massively. So Newsweek says, how badly are Trump's tariffs hurting his Rust Belt base ahead of the midterms? Look at these numbers. This really is something. In Indiana, the percentage of voters who think tariffs are beneficial, 37%, harmful, 44%. Michigan, beneficial, 38%, harmful, 45%. Ohio, beneficial, 37%, harmful, 46%. Pennsylvania, beneficial, 33%, harmful, 46%. Wisconsin, beneficial, 36%, harmful, 50%. So let's break this down a little bit here. The whole point of tariffs, if you're doing them properly, the whole point is, we're going to try to help manufacturing in the U.S. and create more jobs here and make our country prosperous and not allow, corporations to wantonly outsource solid, good-paying jobs that middle-class families in the U.S. had. If you're doing tariffs properly, you are incentivizing job growth in the U.S. and also wage growth because, these are industries that usually were unionized. That's the whole point. If you're going to do protectionism, which I lean towards protectionism and away from so-called free trade, which is more just outsourcing. Not saying you don't have any trade deals. That'd be crazy. You have to have some, but the terms of them are important. And the way they are now, they're massively biased in favor of corporations and against working people. So I lean towards protectionism. But the way he's doing the tariffs, it's not a question. It's flat out hurting working class Americans because when you crunch the numbers on it, all of the data now shows this. While there is job creation in some specific industries, and I forget the exact ones, I think the steel industry is one, so some of the unions were in favor of these tariffs, which is understandable because, for them, it's helping them, so I get it. But there's actually, it's hurting other industries more than it is helping certain industries, if that makes sense. So you would know that Trump's tariffs actually were a success if you went to the Rust Belt states that were directly affected by trade and you polled them on the tariffs and then... Because remember, the Rust Belt voted for Trump, so it's not like they have an anti-Trump animus, a bias or something. No. So if you go to those states and you ask them, hey, how are the tariffs working? And let's say 60% of people in the states, in each respective state goes, yeah, they're working. They're good. Well, then you know that his policies are actually having what's supposed to be the intended impact of helping working class Americans. But that's not the case. In every single Rust Belt state, the tariff policies are underwater. So more people dislike it than like it. That is, in my mind, definitive proof that the policies are failing. So the intended purpose, or what's supposed to be the intended purpose of helping workers, it's just not happening. That's not happening, or else they would say, it's working, we like it. And again, the data also shows that when you crunch the numbers, there's more job loss than job creation when it comes to these particular tariffs and the way he did them. See, a lot of this is like, it's the same thing that happened with his new NAFTA deal, the USMCA, or whatever the fuck it's called, YMCA, something. He was bragging about that, like, it's a tremendous deal, it's unbelievable. You go through the provisions of the deal, it's almost exactly like NAFTA. There were some minor changes, a few small positive provisions, but then some of the provisions of TPP that he jammed into the new NAFTA 2.0, and you can't brag about that. You're doing almost the exact same fucking thing. There's a giant giveaway to pharmaceutical companies in the new NAFTA. So the devil's always in the details, and the devil in the details of Trump's tariffs didn't work, dude, or it's not doing what it's supposed to do. Same thing with the NAFTA deal. Oh, I got a tremendous deal on that. No, you don't. It's way too similar to the old NAFTA deal. It's not helping workers. And the polls prove this, and the numbers on job loss in these respective industries proves it. So he's vulnerable in 2020. That's the point. He's vulnerable in 2020. Obviously, it depends on who the Democrats run and what their argument is and what their framing is and how they run their campaign and all that stuff. That all matters. But as of right now, the idea that like Trump has a lock on the Rust Belt states, no way. Not given the facts on the ground about the tariffs, not given the numbers when it comes to these particular industries and the job loss related to the tariffs, he does not have a lock there. Now, here's what's going to happen. He's going to make his case. He's going to go to the Rust Belt and make his case again. Like, he will campaign there, and he's his biggest cheerleader, and that will help him. But Democrats do have a very sharp counterargument that they can use if they do it properly. Because these numbers prove to me that the way his tariffs have been implemented and the way that he crafted them, they're simply not doing what tariffs should do.